Honorable Dr. RIzvie Salih, you have 11 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to express my view during the second reading of the Appropriation Bill for 2026, presented to this House by His Excellency the President in his capacity as the Minister of Finance on the 7th of November 2025. At the outset, I wish to commend His Excellency and the team at the Ministry of Finance for presenting a forward-looking budget that seeks not only to consolidate our economic stability, but also rekindle the faith the people has in governance so as to deliver progress and justice for all. This budget is being debated at a time when our nation stands at the crossroads of economic revival and renewal. Honorable Speaker, the economic reforms of the past year has placed us on a path of fiscal stability. Now the 2026 budget seeks to translate that stability into tangible benefits for our citizens through education, healthcare, employment, and national unity. Let us remember that a budget is not merely a financial document. It is a reflection of our moral and social priorities. It tells the people where we wish to take this country and what values we stand for as leaders entrusted with their confidence. The budget outlines a prudent approach, increasing revenue collection through widening of the tax net, improved tax compliance and digitalization, while ensuring that expenditure is channeled to productive sectors such as education, health, infrastructure development for the benefit of people of all walks of life. This delicate balance between fiscal discipline and social responsibility must remain the guiding philosophy of our economic management. It is in keeping with this perspective that Budget 2026 has been put together. We particularly welcome government's commitment to uplift the public sector and put dignity back into the public service. The second stage of the public sector salary increase would be paid to all public servants from January. An amount of 110 billion has been provided for this. Also, the second stage of the pension revision for those who retired before 2020 would be paid from July 2026, for which 20,000 million has been allocated. In addition, the interest-free festive loan, which stood at 10,000, has been increased to 15,000. The nation welcomes the approval given to recruit 75,000 individuals to positions such as technical officers, law enforcement officers, and revenue officers, etc., to maintain essential public service. What deserves applause in this endeavor is that such recruitments and promotions would be carried out only in accordance with prescribed examinations and service requirements, free from political interference, so as to provide equal opportunity to all. Another very welcome aspect of the budget is the granting of a daily wage increase of rupees 400 to our estate workers. This, to me personally, is a heartening feature of this budget. Having worked at the Norelia Hospital for 4 years at the start of my career as a medical officer, I know that hospital caters to 75% of the estate sector workers, who are the backbone of our world-renowned Ceylon tea. Although a vital contributor to our economy and foreign exchange earnings, they have long remained, unfortunately, a relatively unappreciated segment of our working class. This increase in daily wages granted to them is actually a tribute to those hands that pick the world-renowned 2 leaves and a bud that go to make the best tea in the world. The allocation of the budget 2026 to make provision to continue with the 6,000 rupees paid to a family towards expenditure for stationery is commendable and a shot in the arm and an encouragement for school children and their families. The allocation of 11 million for improving the facilities, infrastructure at the medical faculties of Sabaragamuwa, Runa, Uwavellasa and Eastern University is a move in the right direction. The proposal in budget 2026 to increase the Mahapola allowance by further rupees 2,500 to what was granted in 2025, taking the total amount of what they would receive to 10,000 monthly, is a great boost to our future generation of graduates and the elite of the educated class of this country. These, Honorable Speaker, are long-term commitments that will shape the next generation of Sri Lankans. As a medical doctor for over 37 years, I am deeply encouraged by the allocation in this budget to strengthen our national health services, especially the establishment of a 16-story cardiology unit. Though the present cardiology unit does a Herculean task of catering to a vast number of patients who call over there, unfortunately it is constrained by space and infrastructure. This initiative, Honorable Speaker, is both timely and visionary. Heart disease accounts to 40% of our national mortality. The decision to expand the capacity through a dedicated national cardiac unit will save lives, reduce waiting lists, and train a new generation of specialists. It also demonstrates something very vital. It demonstrates that this government views healthcare not as an expenditure, but as an investment in our human capital. This move represents not just progress in infrastructure, but a milestone in compassion and public service. Also, the assistance that will be granted to thalassaemic patients. Thalassaemic patients, Honorable Speaker, you know very well, are those who are born when the parents are thalassaemic minor. They have a 25% chance of having a thalassaemic major baby, which is a big burden even for a very well-to-do family. I know a couple of families, well-to-do, thalassaemic, those children with the best of care couldn't survive up beyond 20 years of age. In our general population, survival is nothing more than 13 to 15 years. They have to have chelation therapy where the excess iron has to be removed at least 5 days a week. They have to have regular transfusions. So this budget has made provision for the grant of 10,000 rupees for deserving families who have thalassaemic children. I would personally suggest to this that we should be making mandatory genetic screening of susceptible population in this country and sending them for counseling in case they are found to be, both parents are found to be having thalassaemic minor. However, I would refrain that they should not be discouraged, but the risks should be applied to them. No legal provision at the moment should be brought to prevent their marriage. We are all aware of the growing threats posed by Honorable Speaker. Another decisive and commendable measure in this budget is the allocation of funds to strengthen the government war on narcotics. This is a battle of the very soul of our nation, battle for our children, for our schools, and for the safety of all communities. We are aware of the growing threat
you have another 2 minutes.
by synthetic drugs that destroy young lives and not so young lives. Undermine the moral fabric of our society. The budget's financial commitment to this national effort signifies that this government is not treating it as a law enforcement problem alone, but as a public health and social challenge. As a physician, I have seen the devastation drugs cause in the mind, in the body, and within families. Therefore, I strongly endorse the decision to enhance rehabilitation centers, improve public health education on addiction, and support preventive health programs. Honorable Speaker, beyond these sectors, the budget reflects a renewed commitment to inclusive growth, ensuring that benefits reach every region, every community, and every family. The focus on SMEs, digital infrastructure and agricultural modernization shows that we are preparing the ground for an economy that empowers entrepreneurs, encourages innovation and values productivity. Honorable Speaker, fiscal credibility is as important as fiscal content. The international community has acknowledged that Sri Lanka has begun to restore trust through responsible government. We must ensure, and it is certain, that every rupee allocated reaches its intended purpose, whether it is for a school in Monaragala, a hospital in Jaffna, or a housing complex in Puttalam. Honorable Speaker, the 2026 budget is not the end of reform. It is the continuation of a national rebuilding. It provides a framework for a resilient economy, a healthy nation, and a disciplined society. Honorable Speaker, I would like to conclude by reminding ourselves, reminding this House, while the masses would judge how sincere and how transparent the government was in the implementation of the budget, they too would judge what valuable suggestions and how much constructive criticism came from the opposition to once again make Sri Lankan smile. Thank you.
Thank you.